Baby, I'm the gamble of your life. Why you always gotta think twice? We could go at it all night. Till the morning till you can't even go no more.
What's the challenge with those guys?
I think their team speed is apparent on every position. I mean, throughout the board. I mean, offensively, defensively, it stands out. So you just got to match up and put yourself in good angles and match up with their speed. I mean, that stands out. They're again fast across the board at all positions.
How do you feel about your speed? I mean, kind of in comparison to everybody else, I guess I have no idea how to compare yours to everybody
I feel like
else.
we have good speed. I mean, Goody and the personnel department have done a great job. I mean, giving us good players. I think we've progressed. I feel good about our speed. I think we can match up. It's just, you got a guy like Raheem Mostert that's documented, won the Big Ten in the 100 and 200 meters and things like that and stuff. And so you just know those guys have those kind of times and stuff. But I feel like our guys run well and can match up.
Anything in particular about conditions there? Are they perfect, or in that stadium with the weather and everything?
You can get some wind, depending on the wind direction and things. We played there at night before and stuff, and I talked to Phil Dawson about that, and obviously Mason's played out there a couple times and has experience in things and stuff, but it's supposed to be I think 58 to 62, and anywhere from 6 to 8 mile an hour winds. So it just depends on what direction it's coming from and how it hits, because it just kind of has an open end that'll kind of come in and swirl around a little bit and stuff. So you'll see some balls hang up. You're like, you'd think maybe you'd hit a touchback and it doesn't go and stuff. So you just have to get out there when the game's going on and just adjust to it.
Shawn, if I remember right, I don't think Robbie kicked in the game.
He did not.
Is out there, is he back to being what he
Yeah, I mean, Robbie's obviously one of the best. There's a reason why he's been, a Pro Bowl player and stuff. I mean, he's one of the best in the game, and has done it for a number of years and has proven himself. So, yeah, he's back. There's been no ill effects that I can tell.
When Irvin first came here, he was saying yesterday how it's kind of a gradual process to involve him in the offense. I know you're not really involved with that, but what was your understanding? Like when he came here, did you think he was just going to be used on special teams?
I think everybody has a role. You have to be able to, in order to be on the team, you've got to be a good player to be able to play offense, defense, and obviously, we take the guys that maybe aren't starting or their roles are maybe not as big on offense or defense, and we make the most of them as 3 and 4 phase players. But they all have to have the ability, and I think once see a guy like him that plays in space and his body control and those kind of things and starts making plays in the return game, then obviously you expect they're going to use him more on offense and develop packages for him. So again, anything that can help us win, I'm all for.
Shawn, I know you try not to have a preconceived notion about a guy when he comes in, but has Tyler, with the stuff he's done, has he really kind of I don't want to say overcome what you were expecting, but has he been even better than you were maybe hoping he would be?
Again, I try to keep an open mind, but I think that, yeah, he's definitely done a great job for us, and he's definitely been a welcome addition. I mean, I really liked him coming out of San Jose, and I saw him playing Houston and those kind of things. I knew he was a good returner, and we didn't really play against him, when I was in Cleveland and stuff, but you'd see him on tape, and you'd see he'd have returns. So I always respect him as a player, and getting here and getting to work with him on an everyday basis and stuff, and know him personally and getting to know him and stuff is, he's a great guy, and he's really done a great job for us. I'm glad he's here.
So when you're watching film of a guy that you might be interested in, you're not watching like the play where he's savvy enough to let the ball go into the end zone, where that seemed like kind of a borderline decision, right? That was a great decision.
No, it's a great decision. We told him that as soon as he came off the field. I mean, for him to make that decision, seeing the flight of the ball and the trajectory of the ball, I think he knew it was going to go in or have a chance to go in. And for him not to fair catch that and pull the gunners in closer and stuff, for him to actually, he was going to go block the gunner and stuff. And that was a smart, heady play. And, it's one I'm glad he made and stuff. But, that's where as you get young returners that haven't been in games, sometimes that doesn't happen. For he's got some experience and he's played in playoff games and those kind of things. So, those are things that I would hope him as a veteran doing. That's he needed to do that. That was great.
What are those factors that you tell your returners to look for when trying to determine whether to let a ball go or not?
Obviously, we're setting him as he's running back. I mean, he's got to see the flight of the ball and just know, again, have a feel of where he's at on the field, and again, seeing that path of the ball and, does he think it's going to go in? If he thinks it's going to go in, obviously we're not trying to field it. We want to have it try to go in. And then, making the decision on whether or not he's going to try to block the gunner, and those kind of things. It just has to be a timing as far as timing and space and where he's at on the field and, like I said, trajectory and just where that gunner's at and whether he needs to go try to go block him. So we don't have a set parameter except when we get into the pooch area, we'll set him at a certain yard line and, he's going to run off and those kind of things based on the ball and stuff. But that one was, kicked from deeper and stuff, and he had to just kind of figure out where he was at.
How different is JK in his game now, this week, compared to the last time he went out to San Francisco? And how did he pull himself out of some of that swoon that he had midseason?
I think he just went back and we just kept working repetition. We tried to analyze the things that we thought were giving him problems and just tried to work through those and concentrate on those things on a daily basis. And, again, just keep developing the good habits and work through. Just pick one thing out that maybe we thought, he needed to change, and then just keep working through that. And when he's comfortable with that, we move on. So it's just been his diligence and just trying to rep and, trying to work on the little things each day.
It's supposed to be cloudy on Sunday. Are you happy about that? After, you watch Cheryl's cough up, and Cheryl's is as good as it gets, and he coughed up the one into the sun.
Sure.
On Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get it where there's not sun in your eyes, we'll take that. I mean, but again, that was unfortunate. It happened to him. He's been a good player for a long time, but we'll overcome. We got to play in any conditions we can. So whatever's out there, we'll go out and play in.
Sean, they showed the replay because we're 7 floors up, so sometimes you don't see things. It looked like JK did an unbelievable job on one of the extra points. That was the snap wasn't there. Was that?
Yeah, I think it was the first one. Was a little bit inside and low and stuff. And he was able to get it back down. And then Mason did a great job making the kick and stuff. It was a little bit inside on him and stuff. The ball was, it was just a deal where we got to make a better snap right there.
Okay. So that's a developing process for him too, right? So
Sure.
Is that an important moment? Because we've obviously seen you don't notice the snapper or the holder until something goes awry. Is that a good thing to have had success when something goes wrong? So you're
Sure. I think anything in life that you do, when you have success at it and you just keep repping it, it helps you with the confidence factor to be able to do that. And he's definitely done a great job as far as developing the holder and those kind of things. Because anytime you go out to put points on the board, it needs to get executed. So, you never know when those points are. Whatever point in the game that is, you need to put the points and put the ball through the upright. So he did a great job with that. Continues to get better.
Shawn, how much has the overall health of the football team aided the improvement of your special teams the last 5 weeks or so?
I just think that everybody, throughout offensively and defensively, and guys have stepped up, and we've talked about trying to develop a culture of special teams where it's important, and guys buying in, and I mentioned that before. I think the guys have really bought in and how we practice and how we prepare in the meetings and what we present them, and them taking the work home at night and studying that and knowing their opponent and all the things we give them. I think that they've really adopted that and run with it and stuff. And I'm starting to see guys develop leadership-wise as far as in the room and in the huddle and those kind of things during the games. And that's been good to see. Is like I mentioned before, when the players start running this and getting on each other and holding each other accountable, then you get it going in the right direction.
You said that a couple times. What do you mean by that when the players start running it? What do you mean by that?
Just when if something's not going right, like during a practice or things like that, and they kind of start getting on each other, hey, that's not good enough, those kind of things, and they start, like I said, hold each other accountable and get on each other to make each other better. That, and it's not just us getting on them, for as far as execution and those kind of things. Then I feel like it's going in the right direction.
How much is showing or highlighting that what they do on special teams to the team might help with that buy-in and generally speaking?
I think it's important. For the whole team. You got your guys that don't normally. We show them, everybody's in there except the quarterbacks and stuff. And I think for some of the veteran guys that don't always see, the plays on a kickoff or on the kick return when they're over on the bench and they may not be paying attention, they see a guy running down making plays. I think that's good for the team to see. And it's, in the meetings, those guys are congratulating each other, and some of the veteran guys are congratulating the rookies, telling them good job. And I think it just helps their confidence and just continues to develop the culture we're looking for.
Is that something you brought in or have done in the past, or is that something you and Mike kind of got together and decided?
Matt's done a good job of showing clips in the team meeting, and then with us, when we do our special teams meetings on Mondays, we've got pretty much the whole group in there that are on field goal block, and those kind of things. So, they'll see some of those things. But Matt does a really good job of highlighting the positive plays, during the week, from the game.
Baby, I'm the gamble of your life. Why you always gotta think twice? We could go at it all night till the morning till you can't even go no more. You like it, don't even deny it.